Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Now at 4:30, race and real estate. The value of your home and the color of your skin should have nothing to do with each other. But sadly, that hasn't always been the case.
Now, you may remember a black woman here in Indianapolis made national headlines a few years ago when the value of her home more than doubled after she concealed her race.
One study says housing discrimination against the black community is a systemic problem, and it cost black homeowners in this country $156 billion in equity a year. But a new report shows things are finally turning around.
It's starting to, and some of the proof can be found in Lawrence. Brian Penn has lived on this street in Lawrence for 8 years, taking pride not only in his property,
I think it's important for all of us to stick together,
but his neighbors too.
especially in a community that's on the rise.
Home values are exponentially growing for homeowners.
Rochelle Perkins is a local realtor who says she's seen values double, even triple in the last decade.
It's been amazing.
After losing value in the early 2000s, homes here in the predominantly black 46235 zip code have been gaining, up 105% since 2016. Across the country, home values in majority black zip codes are up 84% on average, growing faster than comparable homes in predominantly white communities. That's according to an analysis by State Line News. Fair housing advocates call it much-needed progress to help close a glaring gap in racial wealth. Here in America, much of our wealth comes from owning a home. Historically, though, that's been more difficult for communities of color. First, with redlining nearly a century ago when banks refused to give minority families a mortgage in certain areas of town, and more recently with something called appraisal bias. A study by Freddie Mac found more than 1 in 10 home appraisals in black and Latino neighborhoods resulted in a value below contract price, or what someone was willing to pay. In white neighborhoods, it happens less often. Just 2 years ago, Carlette Duffy of Indianapolis told us it happened to her.
It's like, here it is, there's the evidence of it.
After 2 low appraisals, she hid her race, leaving that line of the form blank, even removing her family pictures and African-looking art. The next appraisal more than doubled.
I figured it would come back higher, but more than double?
Advocates say increased federal oversight and accountability, along with a housing shortage, are all helping today, no matter what's behind the numbers.
It's a beautiful thing to see the wealth gap closing, hopefully. There's still plenty of work to do, very large strides to make, but any movement in that gap, to see it start to close here in my hometown is beautiful.
Making the American dream a dream for all Americans. Lawrence was one of the bigger turnaround communities in the country, according to that State Line analysis. The Midwest and the South saw the biggest increases in the country. State Line has a lot more data on this. We've linked their story to ours. They did an incredible job looking into this. You can find it at WTHR.com.
Well, certainly some encouraging numbers, but a lot more to come.
Absolutely.
All right.